Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I will be talking about Premier League Match Week 2 preview and prediction. And the like target for this video is 14. If you're new here, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So the first game is Everton versus West Bromwich. To be honest, I think Everton will win this game easily as the way they play football against Tottenham. I think they will be simply too good for West Bromwich. And for West Bromwich, to be honest, there's nothing to look for them as they were disappointing against Leicester City. And I think Everton this year is a little bit better than Leicester City's side. And Everton will be at home, even though no fans, but still I think Everton will be winning this game with a scoreline of 3-0. So Leeds United versus Fulham. I think this is a very good game to watch because they both are promoted side and they didn't start off their Premier League the way they wanted to, especially Leeds United. They were looking very good, but they still lost. So I think this game is a very important game for both teams. And I think Leeds United will be the favorite to win this game, as we all know what kind of football they play against Liverpool. But I think defensively they will have to do a little bit of homework. And for Fulham, they were completely disappointing against Arsenal. Like Arsenal were like simply too good for them. So for me, this game, I think Leeds United will win this game easily, but I think Fulham will finally score a goal in this game. So therefore, I think this game will end up in a scoreline of 2-1. So Manchester United versus Crystal Palace is the next thing I'll talk about. So I don't know if you guys are aware of it or not. Crystal Palace actually drew and beat Manchester United at Old Trafford in the last two meetings. So this is a very interesting fact. But I think this time around, Manchester United will be a little bit too good, even though Crystal Palace are coming from a very good win, I should say. Like defensively, they're very organized against Southampton. So I think this is going to be a very interesting game. I can see Manchester United attacking and keeping all the possession, and Crystal Palace playing the counter-attack football. So I think we'll see both teams scoring in this game, and I'll go with Manchester United winning this game 3-1. The next game I'll talk about is Arsenal versus West Ham. As we all know that Arsenal played really good football against Fulham, so I won't be surprised if they play some good football once again over here. They have a good side, they have a good team, and Whelan is a very good player. He's looking very good. Aubameyang, he's also looking sharp. So yeah, these two, like, they are the star player for Arsenal, and they are performing very well. And for West Ham, they were so-so against Newcastle. But the thing is that, as we all know, the team that won that game was the team that took the chances in the game. West Ham could, if they did take their chances, they could have win that game. So for this game, I think this is going to be one-sided, and I think Arsenal will be winning this game with a clean sheet and with a scoreline of 2-0. So the next game I'll talk about is Southampton versus Tottenham. Both teams are coming up from a very narrow defeat, and Southampton were actually the best team, I would say, among the teams that are coming out from the defeat. Southampton at one stage were looking to find a goal. Like, they were looking very sharp for good 20 to 25 minutes in the second half. So that was a good sign for them. But it's going to be interesting. Will they play that similar type of football for a longer period? If they do that, they can win this game. On the other hand, Tottenham, we all know that they do have a very good quality players, Son and Harry Kane, Dele Alli. Like, these three are a very good players. So I would love to see them perform against Southampton. If they don't, I will be disappointing, and it's going to be a big setback for Jose Mourinho. And one more interesting fact for this game is that the last time Tottenham actually beat Southampton was back in 2016, December 29. And I don't think we will be seeing Tottenham winning this game against Southampton. And I'm actually fancying Southampton to win this game with a scoreline of 2-1. I won't be surprised if it is a draw, but I think Southampton will actually win this game with a scoreline of 2-1. Newcastle versus Brighton. Newcastle won against West Ham in their last fixture, and Brighton lost against Chelsea, but they played some really good football. So Newcastle, I think they'll try to play similar football against Brighton, like the way they play against West Ham, because they were looking very good. They just needed to take the chances and they would win the game, and that's what they did. So winning 2-0 was a very good sign for them. And for Brighton, to be honest, they played really good football against Chelsea until Chelsea scored a third goal. So I think in terms of mentality, they will be thinking that we can beat Newcastle. And for an interesting fact for this game is that whenever these two sides play, we can only see max 3 goal in the last 10 meeting. So I think this will be once again a low scoring game, and I'm gonna go with a draw. Newcastle 1, Brighton 1. So the next game I'll talk about is a big one. Liverpool versus Chelsea. Chelsea is obviously a home team. So I think Chelsea were looking not that good against Brighton, but they got a 3 points, and the best side was that Timo Werner, he was looking very hungry. He was trying to score a goal at every minute. Every time he get the ball, he was trying to score a goal. So that was a very good mentality from a good player. But to be honest, like winning a game 3-1 is already good for any team, and especially at the first day where you didn't really perform well. So I think it was their bad day they still won. And for Liverpool, once again, they are a quality team. It was their bad day, and they still won 4-3 against Leeds United. Yes, they did got 2 penalties, but those were 2 obvious penalties. So yeah, and I think the biggest factor for this game will be their defense. As we all know that Chelsea won against Brighton was because of a Brighton defense error, I should say. And we saw how many error that Liverpool player did against Leeds United, against a very lower ranked team at the moment. So defense will be a very key factor for this game, but I'll still say that Liverpool will actually win this game with a scoreline of 3-2. The reason why I'm saying that is because we all know that Liverpool defense do have some really good players compared to Chelsea one. Like Chelsea, yes, they did some recent signing, but Ben Chilwell and Thiago Silva, they are still not playing yet. So I think Liverpool, in terms of defensively, if they can organize, they will have the upper hand, and I think they will win this game with a scoreline of 3-2. So the next game I'll talk about is Leicester City versus Burnley. This is going to be a very good game because, as we all know, that Leicester City did win 3-0 against West Bromwich, and then on the other hand, Burnley, they didn't. This is their first game, so this is going to be very interesting what they're going to do. And some interesting fact for this game is that since April 9, 2011, Liverpool have actually never lost against Burnley at their home. They have either draw or win. So this is something, a fact that we should all be aware of. And for me, I think Leicester City will actually win this game with a scoreline of 3-1. Once again, I think Jamie Vardy will be scoring 1 or 2 goals because he was looking very sharp. And Burnley, I think they are playing their first game, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for them. So that therefore, I think Leicester City might be off to a flyer once again this season and getting all 3 points. Aston Villa versus Sheffield United is the next game I'll talk about. Aston Villa will obviously playing their first game as they didn't play the last weekend, and Sheffield United will be playing the second game, and they will be coming off from I think a confident defeat, I should say, because the second half performance was actually a good one. So I think Sheffield United will be a little bit confident in this game compared to Aston Villa. But as we all know that Aston will be playing at their home, so they'll try to get a point or stuff. But I think Sheffield United will also try to push very hard to get all 3 points because they don't want to lose 2 games at the start of the season. But I think none of the team is gonna get 3 points. I think this game will end in a draw. The scoreline will be Aston Villa 1, Sheffield United 1. Wolves versus Manchester City is the next game I'll talk about. As we all know that Wolves got all 3 points against Sheffield United, and Manchester City will be looking to get 3 points over here. As we all know that Wolves are battling for Europa and Champions League this season, as they don't have any European football this season. So this is going to be a good game. And for Manchester City, they will want to get all 3 points. As we all know that last season they lost way too many points the early part of the season. So this is going to be a very interesting game. So for Wolves, they did play some good football against Sheffield United. In terms of attacking football, they were playing good as well. They scored 2 goals off from there. And then for the counter-attack football, they played that in the second half. They were also looking good. Yes, it was kind of disappointing that they couldn't score another goal in the second half because they were kind of looking good in terms of counter-attack football. But yeah, and for Manchester City, this is going to be their first game of the season, so it's going to be very interesting that what Pep told them, and is Pep going to come up with something new? As I did said in my Premier League table prediction, Pep will have to come up with something new because the recipe he's using now is very, very used to many teams. And as we all know that Nuno is a very smart coach. He can beat big teams. He can win games with his interesting mindset. So it's going to be a very interesting game. and I'm gonna fancy Wolves to win this game with a scoreline of 2-1. As we all know that the last 6 times these teams met in the football, Wolves won 2, drew 3, and lost 1. So this is a very interesting fact, and I do think Wolves will be winning once again, as they are a well-drilled side compared to Manchester City. And that's the end of Premier League Match Week 2 preview and prediction. If you guys like this video, please give a big thumbs up, and if you're new here, once again, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys soon.